simply joking. Clearly,
there is much more to nations around the planet other than their tourist spots. Yet it can't be contested that they are a major piece of the explanation. Individuals decide to make a trip to specific areas. A portion of these milestones have astonishing backstories, while others have fabulous legends encompassing them, attracting guests who need to attempt to reveal its privileged insights. Number 10. Hidden messages. Overshadowing Rio de Janeiro, the Christ the Redeemer Art Deco sculpture is probably the biggest sculpture of Jesus on the planet and one of its new 7 wonders. The sculpture's open arms are an image of harmony, and it is the most well-known milestone in Brazil. The correct arm focuses to South Rio and the left to North Rio. In the 1850s, a nearby minister cooked up making a Christian landmark on Mount Corcovado. A solicitation to Princess Isabel for financing fell through after Brazil isolated church from state in 1889. The cleric's fantasy was at last acknowledged after the First World War when, after a modest bunch of planners created the sculpture, it was opened to general society on the 12th of October 1931. Laborers who made and stuck the 6 million soapstone tiles that cover the sculpture are said to have composed messages on the back as wishes or just their darling's name. One of the specialists, Ligia Maria Avila da Veiga, was colossally glad to have her customized tiles showed on the sculpture, saying, "I composed numerous desires on the soapstones. They are up there on top." Number 9. 70 years in tallying. In South Dakota lies what should be the world's greatest landmark. Expected to be, on the grounds that following 70 years it is as yet not wrapped up. In 1948, Polish-American stoneworker Korczak Ziolkowski began work on Crazy Horse, a portrayal of a Native American fighter riding a horse, trusting it would require 30 years to finish. He began the undertaking with under $200 in his pocket, no power, water, or useful streets to talk about. He ascended a 741-venture wooden flight of stairs to scale Thunderhead Mountain and start work on the landmark. Having no cash to pay laborers, Ziolkowski turned out alone for a long time. He kicked a bucket in 1982. With his last desire being that his family focus on finishing the monument. Crazy Horse is an acclaimed figure in Native American culture, and the model is intended to be a landmark in his honor. The rock mountain into which it is being cut games an emblematic portrayal of Crazy Horse, since no photos of the hero exist. At the point when the milestone is at last finished, Crazy Horse will point southeast towards a plot where numerous Native Americans have been covered. The arrangement for the remembrance came in reprisal of the recognition for white American pioneers on the close-by Mount Rushmore. At the point when finished, the Crazy Horse dedication will make every one of the 4 countenances on Mount Rushmore appear to be little. Meanwhile, guests to South Dakota can investigate the highest point of the incomplete dedication and investigate the region that ideally one day will wear Crazy Horse's outstretched arm. Number 8. A Tree of Dispute. Mauna Kea is Maori for pile of the Kea plant. Also known as One Tree Hill, this volcanic top in Auckland, New Zealand, holds a dear spot throughout the entire existence of the country. After a fight in 1740, a sustained Maori town was deserted when their boss was executed in real life. The town sat on top of the well of lava and just a single local tree stayed after it was deserted. Subsequently the name One Tree Hill. Unfortunately, a pilgrim cut down the solitary tree in 1852, after which financial specialist John Logan Campbell chose to plant a woods of pine trees in its place. Of this forest just one tree endure. Campbell's gravesite is situated at the top close by a bronze sculpture of Chief Tamaki just as a monolith devoted to the Maori people. In 1994, the enduring pine tree was part of the way cut up with a cutting apparatus by Maori activists and afterward devastated by different activists in 2000 encounter of the New Zealand government's treatment of the Maori. In 2016, 9 new trees were planted to supplant the pine, and these are currently encircled by a fence. When they are sufficient, arborists will pick the hardiest of the pack to remain, indeed restoring the genuine importance of the expression "one tree hill." Number 7. Misunderstanding. The Sultan Ahmed Mosque is a significant vacation destination in Istanbul, Turkey. Nicknamed the Blue Mosque in view of its inside tones, the Spot of Love was developed somewhere in the range of 1609 and 1616 as an announcement of Ottoman forces as yet being used today. 4. Sultan Ahmed I purportedly demanded that the mosque have 6 minarets, causing contention in the Muslim people group on the grounds that alone the extraordinary mosque in Mecca at the time had 6 minarets. The ruler wasn't deflected and orchestrated a 7th minaret to be added to the Mecca mosque with the goal that he might have the 6 he wanted for his own. Another adaptation of this story says that the ruler's engineer misjudged his prerequisites with respect to the minarets. The king needed gold minarets, altın minaret in Turkish, and the draftsman heard 6 minarets, altı minaret. Number 6. The Sea People. South Africa is maybe generally known for its fluctuated natural life and Table Mountain, yet it has some marvelous seashores as well. Along the wild coast lies Hole in the Wall, one of SA's most essential milestones. Opening in the wall is a huge, withdrew bluff with an opening through its middle that has been cut out by waves over time. The precipice was named by Captain Vidal, who headed the Barracuda vessel in 1823 when sent on an endeavor to study the coastline on which it stands. Local people, the Bombana public, called the precipice Isikalini, which signifies "spot of the sound" or "spot of thunder." Legend has it that the Mpako River used to be a tidal pond closed off by the bluff. A youthful, delightful young lady sat on the bluff's edge every day and gazed out to the ocean, attracted to the mind-boggling force of the waves. At some point, one of the ocean individuals came out to meet her. He had long hair and hands and feet like flippers, and when he moved toward the young lady, he promptly requested that she wed him. Be that as it may, when her dad discovered he was maddened and cautioned her never to see the man from the ocean again, the young lady ignored and raced to the man she had become hopelessly enamored with, educating him regarding her dad's admonition. The man advised her to stand by until elevated tide. At the point when she got back to the bluff during elevated tide, a few ocean individuals were remaining on top of it, conveying a Goliath fish. They utilized the fish to cut an opening in the precipice, making an entry from the tidal pond to the ocean. As the water spouted through the opening, pushed forward by the elevated tide, many ocean individuals moved through on the waves driven by the young lady's ocean darling. She went to his side, and the whole gathering vanished back through the opening in the stone and was never seen or gotten with again. 5. To this day, the legend proceeds, and it is said that when the tide is elevated, the ocean individuals can be heard singing over the sound of the waves encompassing Hole in the Wall. Number 5. Angel large and in charge. As the pinnacles fell on the 11th of September 2001, some saw the fallen angel's face in the tufts of smoke. Generally 9/11 villain face pictures coursing right up till the present time were plainly Photoshop, yet the most renowned picture, named Satan in the Smoke, stays or state of dispute, with some solidly accepting that the fallen angel, or even a picture of Osama canister laden, showed up as the South Tower descended. Some are even persuaded that Nostradamus anticipated the insidious that would come upon Lower Manhattan that decisive day, as part of the revamping of the World Trade Center complex, the Freedom Tower. All One World Trade Center was developed. The structure opened on the 3rd of November 2014 and its observatory opened on the 29th of May 2015. On the 11th of September 2016, the Tribute in Light memorial lights shone splendidly in where the two pinnacles once stood. Photographic artist, Rich McCormick, took a few photographs of the lights and before long got mindful of something abnormal in the photos once he experienced them. High up in the sky, toward the finish of the light bar, was a figure that took after an angel. McCormick demanded that he hadn't messed with the photos in any capacity and that he trusted it might have been a blessed messenger or the Lord himself peering down on Manhattan. 6. While some quickly called pareidolia, or optical hallucination, others were empowered by the picture and trusted it to be strict in nature. 4. The Apocalypse. Built as a little fort in 889 AD, the Alhambra complex in Granada, Spain, was revamped and remade in the 13th century to incorporate an imperial castle. Alhambra is the Spanish adaptation of the Arabic Cara la Alhambra, which signifies red manor. The complex additionally incorporates the Court of the Myrtles, Hall of the Ambassadors, Court of the Lions, and the Hall of the Abencerrages. The illustrious royal residence is the lone enduring Palatine city of the Islamic Golden Age. Today it is visited by a great many vacationers consistently and is quite possibly the most celebrated verifiable destinations in the entire of Spain, as is the situation with most authentic locales. The Alhambra is encircled with long-standing legends, quite possibly the most mainstream being the one that suggests the apocalypse. On the Gate of Justice, one of the principal passages to the fort, a hand has been cut into the curved stone and a key in the focal point of the internal opening. Both are unmistakable Islamic images, with the hand used to avoid the hostile stare. Legend says that when the hand and the critical join to get one, the world as far as we might be concerned and the actual fortification will be annihilated at the same time. It is likewise accepted that unfortunate Catholics have set up a sculpture of the Virgin Mary over the way to the stronghold, to keep this disaster from occurring. Number 3. A position of fantasy and legend. The Peña Palace is a stronghold situated in the Sintra Mountains, Portugal. The manor was developed on the site of an archaic house of prayer which was committed to Our Lady of Peña, after a revealed locating of the Virgin Mary at the sanctuary. Numerous adherents began pilgrimaging there. In 1493, King John II of Portugal and Queen Leonor rose the Sintra Mountains to honor their supporter, and when the ruler perceived how lovely the area was, he requested that a cloister be worked there and given to the Order of St. Jerome. After a devastating quake in 1755, the religious community was shaken. However, the sanctuary was unscathed. The town of Sintra itself is a significant traveler objective due to the previously mentioned Peña Palace and a large group of different mansions and castles. Sintra has been pronounced a UNESCO World Heritage Site and is a pleasant milestone of Portugal. The town was named, as per legend, after its kin fabricated a sanctuary that was dismissed by Rome after its finish. Individuals at that point committed and blessed it to Cynthia, the moon, and Sintra was gotten from this. Sintra is likewise the focal point of the Yellow Rock legend. In a distant region of Sintra, a huge stone descends from the beginning. It is accepted that whoever can overturn the stone will be permitted to take the fortune covered underneath it. The catch: the stone should be brought down by tossing eggs at it. Quite a while passed. An elderly person moved toward the stone with a crowd of eggs. She tossed the entire part of them at the stone, yet couldn't move it. Right up till the present time, the yellow greenery that develops on the peculiar stone is supposed to be the egg yolks sprinkled over it by the unfortunate elderly person. Number 2. Ceremony of Solidarity. to recognize the arrival of King Emperor George V and Queen Empress Mary at Apollo Bunder, Bombay, Mumbai today. In 1911, a huge curved landmark was raised and named the Gateway of India. George V was the primary British ruler to visit India. The door faces the Arabian Ocean on one side and the Taj Mahal Palace on the other, and has over the long run happened to the most shot spots on the planet. It was additionally the spot from which the last British soldiers left India in 1948, after the nation acquired its autonomy the prior year. Besides, the door was the spot Mahatma Gandhi landed when he got back to India after his 22-year stay in South Africa, 11 years after the devastating Dread assaults on Mumbai in 2008. The Gateway of India became host to the 26th 11th Stories of Strength occasion. The landmark was lit up and brandished the decisive date at the top, while the Indian Navy band acted before it. A few government authorities and famous people, including veteran entertainer Amitabh Bachchan, went to the passionate occasion, and Bachchan shut the function by discussing an incredible sonnet. The occasion additionally included records of survivors and agreed with the 150th birthday celebration year of Mahatma Gandhi. Number 1. Last look at opportunity. Venice, Italy is an exceptionally well-known vacation spot, in no little part because of the gondola rides guests can take through the channels. Venice is likewise home to what in particular was a notorious old jail in the Doge's Palace. At a certain point an extension was built to associate this old jail to another jail across the stream that isolated them. This scaffold, after some time, got known as the Bridge of Sighs. Theory has it that it is alleged on the grounds that the individuals who were walked over it would have been imprisoned for quite a while, and they murmured as they witnessed the stream in what might be their last lovely sight while still free. Writer, Lord Byron, pondered in one of his sonnets that the scaffold was the last point where censured hoodlums could see Venice before they were directed to their killer. As one sails down the waterway and approaches the scaffold today, the jail cells can in any case be seen on the right. Another, more peppy legend has it that if 2 or 3 sails in a gondola and kiss as they pass under the extension, they won't ever be isolated from each other.